Hi, I'm Renee.
And I'm Debbie. And together,
we are the Round Table Recap.
Hey, welcome. We're on Traitors US episode 9, season 3. And starting right off is, of course, with Danielle and Carolyn trying to decide whether or not they want to eliminate or if they want to recruit someone. And as we said before, that with Danielle trying to convince Carolyn to recruit Brittany, obviously that is like the dumbest thing that she could try to convince Carolyn of. And I think just really out of this scene, all you get is the fact that they really don't trust each other, nor can they work well together as traitors.
Yeah, there's too much distrust. So yeah, they burned those bridges.
Yeah, 100%. So moving along into breakfast, you see where Gabby discusses with Carolyn and, that she doesn't trust Danielle and she's on to Danielle, which of course Carolyn is like, ooh, because she knows that, anything against Danielle is what she's going to try to do. And then you find out that they get rid of Sam, which I actually thought if they weren't going to recruit anybody, eliminating him was pretty smart on their part because he really was a silent observer. So he noticed things that obviously he didn't lead on that he was watching, but he was.
Yeah, I think that was probably the only one that they could agree on because, their choices were Dylan, Sam, or Dolores. I mean, Danielle's not going to put up Dolores. And Dylan, both was on both their sides. So yeah, Sam was really the only option for them. I do, going back to the I think it was after the turret where they did the confessionals before breakfast, and Danielle was like, "Our kingdom is crumbling," and in Carolyn's confessional, she was it's just a matter of who's going to get who first. So yeah. That just really sets the tone for this episode.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, obviously it was set up a couple of episodes back that they were going to go after each other, which never played out, but definitely this episode is where everything takes place. But yeah, and then I have to call out Alan's, I had to have noticed before, but Alan's hairstyle, it reminds me of that butler from Rocky Horror Picture Show. The little little curve thing. Yeah. I had to have noticed that before because right when I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. That ridiculous hairstyle.
I know. Yeah, he had a couple of good hairstyles between this episode and the next episode. So
yeah, he did. I kind of like to now after breakfast, you have Dylan who's now questioning his closest ally, which he now is looking at Danielle because he's like, maybe that's the reason why he's still in this game, which it's pretty much the case. I mean, Danielle and Carolyn, but at least now he's looking in the right direction.
Yeah, I think for at this point, because there's so few of them, I mean, they all have to be questioning, why am I still here? I mean, that's got to be on everybody's mind because there's some obvious choices of, who should not be here. If they are faithful, why are they still around? Why are the traitors keeping them around? And so, yeah.
Again, I think Carolyn is riding high too, because one of the people that Dylan go and talk to about him suspecting Danielle, is Carolyn. So Carolyn is like, probably like, in her head, like, hey, another person for Danielle on the same day. But yeah, that's really all that comes up. And, before going into the mission, did you have any other things to add?
Just Danielle's strategy, it's, I don't get her comments, like I said, in her confessional, she said, our kingdom is crumbling. Well, yes, it's crumbling because of you. And, because she did a lot of like planting seeds and, maybe she isn't real obvious about it, but she does plant the seeds about Carolyn. So she kind of encourages that.
Yeah. And to your point, this mission, as you've as it like unfolds, you see just how much Danielle is, what she's doing behind Carolyn's back to really put her out there. So
Yes, because this mission ties into the Traitors turret, and so her making these comments about, even in the turret, she's like, we got to stick together, take you to the end, and all the while she's like thinking something different. So.
Yeah, what she says does not match her actions at all. Yeah, 100%. So again, I got to call out Alan's beautiful chest headwear.
I know. I'm like thinking, how long did that take?
Yeah. And then what's his son's name? Lila?
Yeah.
With her matching little chest scarf. Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one, my call outs were, of course, with Tom and him voting for himself for the whole,
for the mission.
Yeah, for the mission, that he is the most threatening person. And I like Parvati and I didn't write down her name, the other guest. Kate. Yeah, I like their little like dialogue in the background with the comments to what's going on.
Yeah, Kate's always my favorite. I just loved her first time on the Traitors, where she was just like, I don't care, I want to go home. Yeah. And they just kept her around.
Yeah.
But yes, they did have a good interaction between Parvati and Kate. So,
I think this is also kind of where you see that Danielle is, as much as I don't like her gameplay or her being a traitor, I think she does, she's a little bit more strategic than Carolyn, especially when it comes to this mission, because obviously Carolyn thought about it after the fact, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done myself in there. And like Danielle, this whole time throughout the challenge, she's so quiet and took the backseat on things. And Carolyn, she's like, we need to bank this money. So she's like trying to be more outspoken. But obviously this is a very bad play for Carolyn.
Yeah, it was on the third chess piece, the wolf, when it was who's the leader of the pack, and the Traitors had picked Tom. But then Tom votes for himself. I'm the leader of the pack.
Yeah.
But then everybody else says Dylan, and then Carolyn. Why?
I know. I'm like, no, just go with the majority. It's all right if you listen.
Yeah. Who cares? Who cares about the pot? If you're not around, then it doesn't matter.
And like, as she said, with the whole, like, who's been outspoken or who speaks, but no one listens to, like, she's the only one that feels that she doesn't get listened to, where everyone's like, that's not true.
Right.
So that, like, bit her in the butt, I think.
Yeah. So. Those two, the first two chess pieces, I think they were okay. But then that third one with Tom and, her going against the majority, that was a bad mistake. And then the fourth one, the mouse, when she votes for herself and nobody else is like, nobody else sees it. Those two pretty much sealed her fate.
Which is actually, it is kind of ironic, because as much as people say they don't listen to Carolyn, they really don't listen to her.
I know. I know, poor Carolyn.
She still can't sway anybody to vote for her. Like,
yeah.
But this whole mission, I think, is what sealed her fate for the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Since we all know that she goes home this episode. So that's all I had in the mission.
Yeah, other than Carolyn's confessional, where she's like, did Danielle just set me up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she realized she wasn't 2 steps ahead. And I feel like Danielle was 2 steps ahead in this part. And that's where Carolyn's downplay definitely came into play.
Yeah. During this one, Danielle definitely had the better gameplay.
Yeah. Yep. So going back in, I think it's just funny because I noted it because of what we previously had said about Ivor in the past. I think it's Brittany who brought it up, where what does he do all day? And just sip tea, and then he's like, they have him say, "I feel like a cup of tea coming on." Like, so I really think he does just drink tea all day, and the people talk to him great. Otherwise, he's just there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, so then you have Ivor, Carolyn, and Tom talking about Danielle. And here's Tom again throwing, I don't know what is with him and Dolores.
I know.
But
I don't know.
Yeah. But even when Carolyn leaves, Tom and Ivor even discuss the possibility of Carolyn. But neither of them, ironically, think that she can pull it off. So they just kind of,
Yeah. I think when Danielle and Dolores and Ivor, though, were talking, I mean, Ivor, either he said it or he hinted at that Carolyn was talking about Danielle.
Oh,
so, Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. I can't remember why he said that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of that was it. That put Danielle on the warpath.
Oh, yeah. Where she came prepared. Which I think, yes, it went in her way, come to round table because she was so set up to battle. Because, at this point, I think both of them knew it was going to be Carolyn versus Danielle. And so I think, Danielle, she came prepared, but she was overly prepared. She was so...
Right. Which is a mistake like what Austin Rob did. Mm-hmm. And then Danielle makes the same mistake.
Yeah.
She wasn't shaking. She wasn't crying. She was like in Boston Rob mode, just going after Carolyn.
Yeah. Which obviously, I think was her downplay come this episode into future episodes. But yeah, so then...
Yeah. But then in Danielle's confessional, she's like, it could have been nice. I'm like, really?
I know. No, I know.
Like, why are you saying these things?
I know.
When you're not doing it.
I'm like, this whole episode proves how much she set Carolyn up. Like, there was no way Carolyn could ever play nice with Danielle because Danielle always had this agenda to get her out from episodes ago.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of mean that Danielle called Carolyn like the Forrest Gump, and the Columbo act. I thought that was kind of, saying that she wasn't being authentic. I don't know. I thought that was kind of below the belt. I mean, it just was uncalled for.
Yeah, which I think that's why Carolyn was so upset when she gets voted out because it was more of a character attack, and she said it herself this is what she battles in her everyday life. So yeah, it definitely was below the belt versus you gotta remember it's a game.
I appreciated Tom coming to Carolyn's defense. I was like, but then in the voting, Loris and Tom,
I know, they're in their own little world. They're both so matter
against each other.
Like what?
Everybody else is Carolyn or Danielle, and they're like, "No, it's you."
I know.
My one vote.
I want to see what did they cut out? Like, why are these two so against each other? Like, obviously, the people were like, "Yeah, we can." Production or whatever was like, "This is irrelevant because they're in their own little game over here." Which is probably why I didn't have any spotlight. But I really want to know, what the heck is going on between them?
They have no strategy. They have. It's like, come on, you're just throwing away your vote.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, this is after everything that happens at the round table, and Carolyn, gets voted out. This is where Gabby now is like, this is 100%. I think seals the deal that Danielle is a traitor because, as you said, it literally took her back to the whole Rob and Bob argument at the round table.
Oh, yeah. And then Danielle's reaction afterwards. I mean, she was like so focused on Danielle, no emotion, just like, and
Carolyn.
then after. Huh?
You said Danielle. She was so focused on Danielle. You meant Carolyn. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. She was so focused on Carolyn that, and then after Carolyn leaves, I mean, what does Danielle do? I mean,
I know.
And she starts crying. She's on the floor. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, I even liked, which I didn't mention during the round table. Carolyn's like, don't you dare give me those fake tears or whatever. She's
everybody's tired of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then afterwards, that's what Danielle does. So yeah, this episode ends essentially with Danielle. Now she has no choice other than to recruit, and it's a face-to-face. And
it's not a recruitment. It's not a recruitment. It's an ultimatum.
Yeah, it's ultimatum because obviously at this point it's either you accept or you're eliminated.
Right.
And it's no surprise that she picks Brittany. So that's where it leaves off. And I don't know why they always do this as a ending where they leave it hanging, because the person's going to accept. Like,
I mean,
they're not going to be like, okay, no, I'll leave the game.
No, I'm not going to accept. Yeah. Now the game. I'm going to go home. Except for Kate. Kate would have done that.
Probably. That's true. But yeah. All right. So that wraps up episode 9, and we will continue episode 10 next week. We'll see you guys there.
Yay.